You guys, I had 2 unmedicated births, and I would rather go through labor twice than go through the first trimester of pregnancy once. It's like worth it in the end, but it's awful. Hello, welcome back to Learning Curves. I'm Anastasia, and today I want to talk to you about the first trimester of pregnancy, why it is the hardest trimester, and why it unfortunately perfectly prepares you for parenthood. Let's get into it. So, a little disclaimer. The first trimester of pregnancy is different for every woman, and it can be different for every pregnancy. It's technically the first week of pregnancy through the 13th, 14th week of pregnancy. For me, the symptoms of the first trimester start around week 4 or 5, and they continue until they peter out around week 17 of pregnancy. How many times am I going to say pregnancy in this video? Lots. Interesting fact, you're not actually pregnant for the very beginning of your pregnancy. You know, your pregnancy starts from the first day of your last period. So you're actually on your period for the first week of your pregnancy. So if you want to be super dramatical to your partner, you can tell them, leave me alone, I'm pregnant, I'm my first week of pregnancy. You're technically, could be. So when you actually are really pregnant with a human in your body depends on your cycle. On average, women's cycles are about 28 days. If we go with that, then for the first week, you're actually on your period. A lot of times the second week, you're ovulating, so the egg is leaving the ovary, coming through the fallopian tubes into the uterus. And the third week, around there, is when you're ovulating, the egg gets fertilized, although I guess it can be somewhere in there the egg gets fertilized, somewhere in there implants, and that's why a lot of women don't know they're pregnant until they are 4 or 5 weeks pregnant, because it can take that much time for the egg to be released, fertilized, and implanted, and that's when the chemicals start changing in your body, the hormones start changing in your body that make a pregnancy test turn positive. And that's the best part. Listen, my husband says that when I talk about birth and pregnancy, that I'm always really negative, and I think it's just because the whole world talks about the happy parts. It is really wonderful, it is really beautiful, and I feel like it's important to acknowledge the negative parts and not pretend that it's all perfect, because I think then it almost tarnishes the perfect moments, because it feels like that's supposed to be the normal when it's not. That's the happy, awesome side of the curve, and there are some really challenging parts of the curve that are totally worth it, but really hard. My husband and I joke that for me, in the first trimester of pregnancy, all I do is sleep and hate everything. And that's not wrong. What's the most famous first trimester pregnancy symptom? Morning sickness. And we all know that it's not morning sickness, it's any time of the day sickness. When I heard that, I thought, oh, okay, so maybe I'll get sick in the afternoon, or maybe I'll get sick in what? Nope. No. It doesn't mean it's like part of the day you get sick and the rest of the day you're fine. Nope. I wanted to throw up pretty much all day, every day from weeks 5 through 17. That is 12 weeks of feeling sick. That is 3 months. And I didn't even have the worst of it. It is different for every woman, but they say, don't be a hero. If you're vomiting more than twice a day, talk to your doctor about it, which means vomiting twice a day is acceptable. What? It's not. It's awful. I mean, it's healthy. It's supposed to happen, and that feels really confusing. That was something that surprised me, is that I almost felt like my body was rejecting pregnancy because it made me sick. And I'm so used to, doing something that's good for my body, eating a healthy meal, taking an exercise, getting good night's sleep, drinking a lot of water, and then seeing the effects in my body, feeling more energy, feeling more exercise. Nobody's gonna believe that I do any sort of movement at all. When I drink a lot of water, I have clearer skin. I see those effects, and all of a sudden there's a baby in my body, and my body's like, great, you need to sleep all the time and you're sick all the time. You're not gonna eat anything. But that's something that is a plus to being a plus size gal, is that I have all of these beautiful, healthy fat stores in my body. So I lost 30 pounds. I lost 20 pounds in my first pregnancy in the first trimester, and 30 pounds in the first trimester of my second pregnancy. And everyone's like, you look great. And it's like, cool, because I feel awful. Awful. I did look okay. I look fine now, but whatever. So, we all know about the sick part, but, women will talk about the tired part, that you're tired. And I think, one, I didn't think it was that big of a deal because it's like, so what? I've been tired. This is different. For me, it was I wake up, I hate everything. I try and think about how I can call in sick to work. I talk myself into getting out of bed, and then I just talk myself into taking each next step to get myself to work. I am distracted through the workday with trying not to throw up in people's faces and hiding my trips to the bathroom when I do throw up and pretending like I actually eat meals. And then when I would come home with my first pregnancy, we didn't have any kids, so I would go straight to bed. And if I got home before my husband, he would come upstairs and find me in bed, and I'd be like, good night, have fun. That was it. And with our second pregnancy, it was pretty much the same thing, but our daughter would sit in bed with me and we'd watch TV. She'd watch TV and I would try to stay awake and not throw up. And that was it. Honestly, I feel like I missed out on 3 months of my life twice. I missed out on the summer of 2017 and the spring, end of winter, spring of 2020. So that's not bad, right? Everybody wants to miss out in 2020. Being sick and tired and not feeling like myself for so long. Like I am a doer, I'm a maker. I like to make things, messes often, but I like to make projects. I like to do things. I have goals. I'm a doer. I do things. I make things. And I didn't want any of that. I didn't want to make meals. I didn't want to make anything except for that human. And I felt like I was bad at that because I wasn't able to put positive nutrition into my body. I wasn't able to exercise. And all I did was sleep and hate everything. And while we make a joke out of that, I felt like I was already a bad mom and that I wasn't myself. And with my first trimester of pregnancy, each pregnancy, I had a breakdown. The first one was around week 12 because I was told that your morning sickness is supposed to spike around week 11. I was researching it, trying to look it up. Like, okay, I can make it. I can make it one more day. I can make it one more week, whichever it was. I can make this. And then that milestone would come and go, and I would still feel awful. And I just each pregnancy, the first one it was around week 12, and the second pregnancy it was I think it might have been earlier. I think it was around week 9, but I had breakdowns because I didn't feel like myself, and I was afraid I was never going to feel like myself again. And I remember crying to my husband about how miserable I was, and the marathon of being sick. It's like having a stomach bug for 12 weeks, for 3 months. I mean, for most women, it's more like 6 weeks. Because again, you're not really pregnant for the very beginning. It's really week 4 or 5 to week 11, 12. But to feel sick that long, to not feel like you that long, feels really awful. And is compounded by the following things. The emotions of all of it. I'm so excited for that first week until I start feeling terrible. And pretty quickly the fear sets in. Because once you get pregnant, it's like, okay, I know my body can get pregnant. That's cool. But then there's the fear that something's going to go wrong. The numbers in the first trimester for miscarriage are scary, very scary. And while I have been really fortunate to not experience a miscarriage myself, I had the fear of it throughout my entire, really until I knew, okay, if I get into a car accident and someone has to cut this baby out of my body, there's a chance she's going to make it. That was when I started to feel a little better. But until then, nope, scared the whole time. And in that first trimester, when you find out your body is doing this new exciting thing, you are told not to tell people because the risk of miscarriage is so high in that first trimester. And my mom advised me, and I'm going to advise you, that if there is anyone who you would want to support you through an awful experience like a miscarriage, I encourage you to share the exciting news with that person that you are pregnant. Because if you deal with that loss and you're going to tell them about the loss, they might as well get to enjoy that excitement with you in the beginning also. And maybe there won't be a loss and you'll just get to be excited the entire time. Because another thing I think is really hard about the first trimester of pregnancy is the loneliness. It can feel so lonely because while you and your partner, if you're with someone, are both very excited about this baby, your body is the only body doing the baby growing. You are the only one who is feeling that exhaustion. You are the only one who is feeling that nausea, who is hurling into that toilet. You are the only one who is asking, can my body do this? Is my body capable of doing this? And it is. You're going to do it. You're going to do great. You're going to be great. And it's going to be the first of many incredible things that your body's going to do that you're going to be like, why was I so hard on this body my whole life? Because this body's awesome. I think, there are so few people that we tell in that first trimester that we're pregnant. And, here's the amount of people we tell that we're pregnant. Here are the amount of people that we've told who have been pregnant before. And then here are the number of people who remember what that feels like in the beginning. And then here are the number of people who had the same symptoms that you're having, who remember what it feels like, who have been moms, who know that you're pregnant. There's like no one. It can feel really lonely and it feels like you don't have someone to talk to about it. You can talk to me. If you want to tell me, you could talk to me. I just thought about that. Please tell me. But yeah, I think that being excited and scared in one fell swoop, being the happiest you've ever been and the most terrified you've ever been is parenthood. I think that's what that is. And your body being used to care for another and not getting to do the things you want to do when you want to do them. I think that's parenthood. I was reading something on Instagram about how the year after childbirth is the year of your birth as a mother, is the birth of the mother. And we talk a lot about, the whole world likes to talk about labor pains like they're the worst thing that's ever existed. And it's hard, but it's fine. I can make another video about that. I'd love to make another video. I'm going to make another video about that. The pains of labor are so famous, but the pains of early motherhood and of pregnancy are not. In part because some women don't experience them, which can be lonely and terrifying in and of itself because, there's a fear that if I'm not feeling the pregnancy in my body, if I'm not sick or I'm not tired, then maybe there's something wrong with the baby or maybe there's something wrong with my body. It is scary. And again, just about nobody knows, and it's lonely. It's scary, and it's lonely, and it's exciting, and in my experience, the first trimester of pregnancy is far and away the hardest trimester of pregnancy, but does, unfortunately and fortunately, perfectly prepare you for parenthood. So I would like to leave you with this. It will end. It will, mama. And you are a mama. It will end. You are making a person, you are growing a life, and you are making your new favorite person, the coolest person that you will ever meet if you only have one baby. And if not, you are making the beginning of your army of incredible people. No matter how it's going, if you are eating perfectly or eating nothing, if you are exercising regularly or not moving at all, you are doing a great job. And solidarity, I am with you. You will get through it. You will. And this is helping shape you to be the incredible, beautiful butterfly mama that you will be. You're a caterpillar in the cocoon and you're growing. Metaphor. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like this video and please consider subscribing. I'll see you next week.